Hi guys, welcome to yet another episode of Saturday Night Live. I am here at, I think there's one more minute to go before we officially start our new episode of Saturday Night Live. First of all, I am so happy to see you all. I am so delighted that you all are here with me. And I really appreciate you being here. In today's episode, we will understand a concept of research design. Okay. So, guys, how have you been? It's been so where I stay, it's really cold here, and I think it's raining today, so it's very cold. Also, the third wave of COVID is going around, so I would request everybody to please stay safe and be protected. Please be wise and do the things that you consider are right. All right, guys. So I think we can start. As you can see my screen, today's episode we will be looking at what a research design is. We will be seeing a wonderful scene from a movie called Spider-Man. And now, please remember, this is not the Spider-Man that are coming right now, not that franchisee, but an older version. I think it's the first one, exactly the first one with Tobey Maguire. I really loved this movie, this part of the series of Spider-Man. And today we will understand what exactly does research design means. Also, we will look at how is it connected to the scene that we are going to watch right now. Um, Guys, if you have any questions, comments, queries, and suggestions, you can put down in the comment section area. If you want to write something to me right now, you can do that because I will see it now because when I'm playing the scene, I can see it. If you have any other questions, comments, please write it down. Also, let me mention today is episode number 9 of Saturday Night Live. I am starting a group very soon, and we will be putting this in the group itself, all the episodes going further. So, all the people who want to join the group right now can join it so that you don't miss any episode going further. All right, let's begin without further ado. Let's watch this wonderful scene from a movie called Spider-Man. Now, for those who don't know, let me give you a little background. So, there is okay. Let me tell you this after we have seen the scene. Okay, here we go, guys.
The birth of a new fusion-based energy source. Safe, renewable energy, and cheap electricity for everyone. And now let me introduce my assistants. These 4 actuators were developed and programmed for the sole purpose of creating successful fusion. They are impervious to heat and magnetism. These smart arms are controlled by my brain through a neural link. Nanowires feed directly into my cerebellum, allowing me to use these arms to control fusion reaction in an environment no human hand could enter.
Doctor, if the artificial intelligence in the arms is as advanced as you suggest, couldn't that make you vulnerable to them?
How right you are. Which is why I developed this inhibitor chip to protect my higher brain function. It means I maintain control of these arms instead of them.
Right. So the scene that you just saw was from the movie called Spider-Man. And we will understand today what exactly did it mean. So in this particular scene, a doctor who later turns out to be a villain in the movie is basically has done a research which he's demonstrating in front of an audience, right? One of them is the funder of the research, right? That is Spider-Man's friend. You could see in the scene, Harry. So these guys have made a lot of funding for the project. Now what is he doing? Basically he is he's displaying the mechanical arms that you just saw, and also this is basically done, the research is being done to provide a renewable and a cheap source of electricity, and that is why he's doing this research. And those mechanical arms are his assistants basically. So he's trying to take out this energy and show it to everybody. Now I've not shown you the entire scene. This is a very long scene where the research has not gone as it should have been. But the point here that you got to understand is that what kind of a research design this man was using. Now he has created also smart arms. I think you saw in the scene, right? Which he plugged it back to his higher brain, right? He also created a chip, and the chip was linked to his brain function, right? And it was called an inhibitor chip. So that is how he's trying to control the arms, right? So that the mechanical arms or the artificial intelligence, like you saw that woman asking him, she says that what if they control you, right? And he says that you have a very valid point, they can control me, but that is why I've created that chip, so that my higher brain function is connected to the chip, and the chip is basically handling these mechanical arms. Now, in this episode, we will understand what exactly is research design. Now, this guy has done his research, okay? And now what he's doing is demonstrating it in front of an audience, right? Now, these audience consist of important people also who have given him funding, right? Now, there are various types of research, okay? That is the first thing you need to understand. It starts from experimenting research, exploratory research, descriptive research, action research, etc. All these research are done through a process, done through a methodology, right? बहुत तरह की methodologies होती हैं. There are two basic methodologies. One is the quantitative methodology and the other is the qualitative methodology. राइट. सो व्हाट इज क्वांटिटेटिव? क्वांटिटेटिव जैसे नेम सजेस्ट कर रहा है, क्वांटिटेटिव का मतलब होता है फिगर्स, स्टैटिस्टिक्स, नंबर्स, चार्ट्स, ग्राफ्स, क्वांटिटेटिव जो आपके नंबर्स से डिराइव हो रहा है. क्वालिटेटिव होता है जो आपको ऑब्जर्वेशन से दिखाई देता है और क्वालिटी दिखाई दे रही है आपको, राइट. सो observation is one of the ways of doing this. Recording experiences, opinions, these are other ways. So ये आपका difference हो गया quantitative और qualitative research के लिए. Now जब भी आप कोई research undertake करते हैं काफ़ी चीज़ें involved होती हैं. सबसे पहले, so the first thing that you need to remember is to understand what are you doing this research for, right? So it is very important to know what is the problem that you want to solve. So that is the very, very, very first stage. So the first stage or the first step is what is the problem, right? So you should know, you should be able to define that problem before undertaking a research. Second step is once you've defined the problem, now you know what is the method. आप किस method से उसको solve कर सकते हैं. So like I told you, it could be a quantitative method, it could be a qualitative method, right? Now you also have to understand that during the process of research, sometimes the question also might change, because then you get a broader understanding of what research is, right? Another step, and an important one at that, is creation of hypothesis. So you assume and you create a hypothesis, and then you test this hypothesis. यानी आप एक assumption को test करेंगे जो आपने सोच रखा है. And then finally you measure it and interpret it. Okay, let's discuss this further of what this Dr. Ock was doing. His name was Dr. Octor. So let's call him Dr. Ock. Now, what was he doing? He had done something called an experimental research. Now, what is experimental research? Now, experimental research is basically made up of two things. So, cause and effect. So, what is cause and effect? Cause is, it means a causal relationship, right? So, understanding that in this kind of an experiment, आपको दो वेरिएबल लेने होते हैं. तो दो वेरिएबल का मतलब है एक इंडिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल एंड द अदर बीइंग द डिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल, right? So because we are testing it out, we are understanding, right? So now let me give you an example. For example, I were to go in an organization and I want to test employees' productivity, right? But I want to test it through a beverage. So let's say मैं employees को Red Bull पिलाती हूँ और फिर मैं उनकी productivity देखती हूँ, test करती हूँ. तो this is a research that I want to undertake. Now, the beverage can be Red Bull. I'm just assuming, I'm just taking a name. It could be Coca-Cola, it could be Pepsi, or it could be any other drink. So I want to test the productivity of employees. Does it go up or down after drinking this particular drink? Now, if you can understand, यहाँ पे दो variables हैं. One is independent and one is dependent, correct? So which one is dependent? Now, productivity is dependent on what you are drinking, right? So productivity is a dependent variable here. And the other variable is Red Bull itself, the beverage that I am serving them. So Red Bull, it becomes an independent variable. Now understand this. In any experiment, you can manipulate the independent variable, right? So you will manipulate the quantity that you give to the employees to drink, right? So let's say you give them some 100 grams to drink, and then you can 100 right, liters. So let's take it in liters. So you will start with 1 liter and see their see the effect on an employee's productivity. Then you can increase, you can start with 500, increase it to 1 liter, 2 liters, or so on, and see whether the productivity is increasing or decreasing. So that is a research, and those are the independent and dependent variable, right? That is one way of doing. So this was an experimental research. And the second thing that was being shown to you in the scene was a demonstration. Now there are two types of demonstration. Please remember, two types of demonstration means the first is a process demonstration, where you demonstrate some kind of a process step by step, right? And the second could be a result demonstration. So in this scene, what he had made and created, he was demonstrating it. It was a result demonstration. Okay. Other types, there are many types of research. So there can be descriptive research. Now descriptive research is generally related to qualitative, यानी कि जैसे मैंने आपको पहले बताया था, वो ऑब्जर्वेशन पे बेस्ड होती है, ओपिनियंस पे बेस्ड होती है, और सर्वेस पे बेस्ड होती है. तो ऐसी टाइप ऑफ रिसर्च भी बहुत ज़्यादा की जाती है. थर्ड इज एक्सप्लेनेटरी और एक्सप्लेनेटरी, अगेन अ वेरी काइंड ऑफ अ डिस्क्रिप्टिव. इसमें कॉजल भी आता है, and there is something called exploratory research. Right now, what is exploratory research? एक्सप्लोरेटरी में बहुत ज़्यादा हम एक्सप्लोरेशन की तरफ ध्यान देते हैं. सो वी आर ट्राइंग टू फाइंड समथिंग एंड इंटरप्रेट इट. Action research is based on a model of act, plan, observe, and reflect. So this is again a cyclic research that is undertaken. Now this research is basically undertaken for immediate results. So ये बहुत ज़्यादा एजुकेशन इंडस्ट्री में यूज़ की जाती है, मतलब एजुकेशन सेक्टर में, नॉट इंडस्ट्री पर से. So in that kind of industry, because you need in that kind of sector, because you need immediate results. You see one thing and then you have an action taken on it, right? You observe and you reflect on that, and then again you plan. So this is like a cyclic research, right? So guys, I hope you've understood today's topic. I took it a little faster. If you want to get in touch, you can get in touch with me. I will send down a link where you can book a personal coaching session with me right now. Besides that, you can I will be giving you a lot of other options where you can connect with me. You can join the community. Of course, you can join the community and we can get in touch, and we will look at different scenes and deconstruct that. Also, I would want you to I would want you to please take care, stay safe, because the times are a little tough, and take care of your health, take care of your family and everybody that you're surrounded with. Guys, this would be a wrap. I hope you have understood today's concept clearly. I hope it was clear. If it wasn't, please write to me and ask me any question that you want to. And further, like I mentioned, I will create a group where you can follow me. Right. This is a goodbye, guys. Bye. Please take care.